Yeah, it's strange how quiet the night can feel. I used to hear the city like a warning sign. Every passing stranger felt so far from mine. Even the moonlight on my window pane couldn't reach the corners carrying all my pain. I wore my sorrow like a heavy coat, pulled so tight around my soul and throat. But somewhere between the dark and dawn, I stopped fighting what I've been running from. And now the silence don't cut so deep. No, no, it holds me gently while I breathe. The air feels kinder tonight, like the stars finally learned my name. Even the rain outside sounds softer, falling on my pain. Maybe nothing changed at all. Maybe my heart just let the light come through. And now the whole world feels warmer too. Morning coffee cooling by the sink, a little sunlight while I stop and think. Funny how a tiny ordinary day can make a tired soul wanna stay. I hear children laughing down the street, and for once it don't feel bittersweet. There's a tenderness in simple things I never noticed when my heart had wings clipped. And even empty rooms feel alive, like every breath says it's alright. The air feels kinder tonight, like the stars finally learned my name. Even the rain outside sounds softer, falling on my pain. Maybe life was never cold. Maybe I just carry winter too long. Now every little thing feels like a song. No, no grand revelation, no mountain moved, just a tired heart learning softness too. And maybe healing ain't a loud parade. Maybe it's sitting still, unafraid. The air feels kinder tonight, and these old walls don't close in the same. There's peace inside my eyes, where loneliness once stayed. Maybe the world was waiting there, patient through every storm I knew. And now the whole night feels brand new. Maybe life was never against me. Maybe I can finally feel it now. I never thought peace would sound this quiet. There was a time these midnight streets only echoed tired memories. Every window glowing in the dark felt like another lonely heart. I used to carry storms inside, even on calm and summer nights. But lately something's changing slow, like my soul finally loosened its hold. And now the shadows don't pull me under, no. Even silence feels softer than thunder. Somehow the night feels gentle, like the whole world finally slowed down. Even the stars above my rooftop don't seem so far away now. Maybe my heart just needed rest. Maybe healing moves this slow. And when the hurt inside grows quiet, the world outside begins to glow. This morning I watched the steam rise slow from an old cup of coffee growing cold. And for a moment I just stayed there still, without trying to outrun how I feel. Children laughing somewhere down the block, rain tapping softly against the cloud. Funny how ordinary things can sound like hope returning. I spent so long bracing for goodbye. Now I let small moments pass me by without asking why. Somehow the night feels gentle, like the whole world finally slowed down. Even the wind outside my window sounds like comfort now. Maybe life was never cold. Maybe I just couldn't feel its warmth before. Now every little breath feels worth living for. No miracle came and changed my life, no grand salvation overnight. Just a tired heart learning not to fight. And maybe peace ain't something you chase. Maybe it's finally giving yourself space. Somehow the night feels gentle, and these old days don't weigh the same. There's kindness resting in the quiet, where loneliness once stayed. Maybe the world was waiting here, patient through every wound I carried through. And now the whole sky feels softer too. Maybe nothing changed at all. Maybe my heart just softened. Tonight feels different somehow. I sat beside the window for a while, watching headlights slowly pass outside. Used to feel like everybody else knew something I could never find. But tonight the city don't seem cold. There's comfort in the quiet of the road. Even the shadows crossing my room move softer than they used to. Maybe my heart finally unclenched its hands. Maybe peace arrives in ways we never planned. I don't feel so far from life tonight. Like the world finally let me inside. Even the silence in the air feels tender instead of bare. Maybe nothing out there changed. Maybe nothing out there changed. Maybe my soul just learned to breathe. And now the whole world feels easier on me. Morning came through curtains pale and gold, falling on a coffee cup gone cold. And somehow that little ordinary scene felt more beautiful than anything. I heard somebody laughing down the hall, and didn't feel invisible at all. Funny how healing moves so slow. You barely notice till your heart lets go. No, the pain didn't disappear overnight. I just stopped holding everything so tight. I don't feel so far from life tonight. Even the moon hanging low feels kind, and the rain against my window pane sounds peaceful in my mind. Maybe life was never against me. Maybe I was too wounded to see how gentle this whole world could be. No grand redemption, no dramatic change, just a tired soul stepping out the cage, learning that soft hearts still survive. And maybe that's what it means to finally feel alive. I don't feel so far from life tonight. There's warmth in every little light. Even these quiet midnight hours feel less lonely than before. Maybe peace is something small, a slow exhale after years of fear. And maybe the world was waiting here. Maybe my heart just softened enough to finally feel the warmth around me. tonight feels different somehow. I used to wake before the morning, like my heart owed sorrow one more day. Coffee getting cold beside the window, while the city rushed so far away. Every face looked like a warning, every silence felt too loud. I wore my hurt like heavy winter underneath a tired crowd. But tonight the streetlights shimmer softer on the puddles after rain, and the sound of somebody laughing doesn't pull me back in pain. Maybe healing ain't a fire, maybe it's a quiet room where your soul stops running circles and finally lets the light come through. Now the window's open to the rain, and I don't feel afraid of it. The world ain't changed its ways completely, but my heart don't break from every little thing. Morning light falls gentle on my skin, even lonely nights don't cut the same. Maybe life was always waiting for me to soften too, and now the world feels softer. The world feels softer now. I heard children running down the sidewalk, and for once I didn't turn away. A stranger held the door at the market, and somehow that kindness made me stay. Funny how a soul can change slowly, like summer entering the trees. No grand revelation from heaven, just finally learning how to breathe. And the old wounds still remember. There are nights they whisper low, but they don't control the rhythm of the life I'm living anymore. Maybe peace is not forgetting, maybe grace is growing tired of treating every open hand like something meant to start a fire. Now the window's open to the rain, and I let the evening wash through me. The same old streets, the same old people, still somehow feel easier to see. Moonlight laying silver on the floor, like heaven found this little room tonight. Maybe nothing changed around me, maybe I just finally stopped fighting all my life, and now the world feels softer. The world feels softer now. I spent years speaking to shadows, thinking darkness knew my name. But pain ain't the only thing that stays. Love survives in quiet ways, in warm bread and slow songs, and somebody saying, take your time, in the peace of not needing to outrun your own mind. Now the window's open to the rain, and the night no longer feels so cold. There's a mercy in ordinary moments. I was too hurt before to hold. And if tomorrow brings its troubles, I believe I'll meet them differently. Not because the world got kinder, but because there's finally a little more kindness living inside of me. Oh, the world feels softer now. Yeah, the world was never against me after all. Maybe I just needed time to know. Funny how the night feels different now. I used to close the curtains on the evening sky, like darkness always came with one more goodbye. Every little sound outside my room felt like another echo of the blues. But tonight the traffic hums so low, like a river moving soft and slow. And the moonlight laying on the floor don't feel lonely anymore. Maybe my heart finally put its weapons down. Maybe that's why the world feels quiet now. Tonight, even the streetlights feel warm, like they've been waiting for me all along. And the cold wind through my window sounds more like a gentle song. Maybe nothing out there changed. Maybe these tired eyes just learned to see a softer kind of life surrounding me. This morning coffee tasted sweeter somehow. Even silence sits beside me now. And I caught myself just watching rain without needing to explain the pain. There was a time I rushed through days, too hurt to notice simple grace. Now every little ordinary thing feels like mercy touching me. Ain't it strange how healing comes so slow? Like sunlight finding places snow let go. Tonight, even the streetlights feel warm, like they've been waiting for me all along. And the cold wind through my window sounds more like a gentle song. Maybe life was never hard on me. Maybe I was carrying stones too deep. Now the whole world feels half asleep and sweet. No fireworks, no grand parade, just a tired soul, less afraid. And for the first time in so long, I don't need sadness to write my songs. Tonight, even the streetlights feel warm, and this old city feels less alone. There's a kindness in the shadows I swear I never noticed before. Maybe peace ain't something loud. Maybe it's learning not to run and letting your heart rest in the ordinary ones. Maybe the world was always this soft, maybe I just couldn't feel it yet. Yeah. Strange how a quiet morning can change a soul. Before the sun came through the blinds and lay there listening to the hum outside. A lonely room used to feel so cold, but tonight these walls don't seem so old. There's a coffee cup beside the bed, and yesterday ain't screaming in my head. For the first time in a long, long while, I let the silence stay a while. Maybe healing don't arrive like thunder rains. Maybe it comes soft enough to miss if you still carry pain. The morning didn't hurt like light touched my skin, so gentle and slow. Even the cars outside my window sounded softer than they used to before. Maybe life was always speaking low. Maybe my couldn't hear. Now every little moment feels sincere. I walk downtown beneath a cloudy sky, watch strangers passing by without asking why. And somehow I didn't feel alone, even with nobody walking me home. There's an old man laughing at a corner store, a little girl spinning circles on the floor, and it hit me deep somewhere inside how beautiful small things can be sometimes. No, the world ain't perfect now, but it don't feel so heavy. Maybe peace ain't loud at all. Maybe it's breathing without fear and finally wanting to stay right here. I spent so many years bracing for the worst, holding my heart like it was cursed. Now I watch the steam rise from my hands and feel thankful without understanding why I am. The morning didn't hurt like before, and this whole world feels kinder somehow. There's warmth inside the ordinary. I swear I never noticed till now. Maybe nothing changed but me. Baby, my soul just finally slowed down, and that's why the whole world feels softer now. Maybe the light was always there. Maybe my heart just opened slowly. Listen to that rain tonight. Feels different somehow. There was a time I feared the dark. Every quiet room could break my heart. Streetlights shining through the blinds only made me miss old times. I used to wear my sadness proud, like silence was safer than the crowd. But lately when the evening falls, it don't feel so heavy at all. Maybe my soul got tired of running. Maybe peace arrived without me knowing. The rain don't sound so lonely anymore, like it ain't crying outside my door. Even the wind moving through the trees feels like it's singing softly to me. Maybe nothing out there changed. Maybe my heart just softened slow, and now the whole wide world feels warmer than before. Sunlight touched the floor, like a friend I hadn't known before. And I stood there holding my coffee cup without feeling the need to give up. I heard laughter drifting down the street, and for once it didn't wound me deep. Funny how ordinary days can bring a tired soul back to grace. No, the pain didn't disappear. I just don't hold it as close this year. The rain don't sound so lonely anymore. There's kindness in the night I never saw before. Even empty spaces in this house feel more like shelter now. Maybe life was always whispering low, but sorrow made it hard to hear. Now every breath feels softer here. I spent so long expecting hurt, holding my heart like it didn't deserve this earth. Now I watch the midnight sky without asking heaven why. The rain don't sound so lonely anymore, and these old wounds don't ache the same no more. There's warmth inside the smallest things, and quiet nights, and Maybe my heart was just tired. Yeah. Ain't it strange how peace can sound so quiet? I used to leave the television on just to keep the loneliness from talking. Every little creak inside these walls sounded like my heart slowly breaking. But tonight the room feels different somehow. There's comfort in the stillness now, and the shadows dancing by the door don't scare me anymore. Maybe my soul got tired of surviving and finally started living. The silence finally feels like home, like I don't have to hurt alone. Even the midnight air feels gentle in my lungs tonight. Maybe life ain't trying to bring me down. Maybe my heart just needed time to stop seeing pain in everything around. This morning sunlight hit the kitchen sink, and I stood there longer than you'd think, watching steam rise from a coffee cup, feeling no need to cover up. I heard the neighbors laughing downstairs, and for once I didn't feel nowhere. Funny how ordinary sounds can pull a lost soul back around. Though the world didn't suddenly change, I just don't carry the same weight. The silence finally feels like home, and these old nights don't feel so cold. Even the rain against my window sounds like healing to my soul. Maybe peace is something small, a slow breath after years of fear. And maybe life has always wanted me here. No grand awakening, no shining light, just a tired woman sleeping through the night and waking up without that ache that always told her love would leave someday. The silence finally feels like home, and the whole world feels softer now. There's tenderness inside these moments I never knew how to allow. Maybe nothing out there changed. Maybe my heart just opened slow, and now even loneliness feels less alone. Maybe healing sounds like this: quiet, warm, human. but it don't feel so heavy now. Streetlights shining through my curtains, painting gold across the floor. I used to sit here counting heartaches, now I don't do that anymore. There's a cup beside the window, half cold coffee, little steam. Funny how the smallest moments feel kinder than they used to seem. I can hear the city breathing, cars passing slow below. And for the first time in forever, that sound feels almost like home. Maybe peace arrives so quietly, you don't notice at first. Like winter leaving the garden, one soft flower before the nothing hurt the same tonight. Even the silence held me gently. Moonlight resting on the ceiling, like heaven finally remembered me. And the world outside my window don't seem so cold and far away. Maybe my heart just stopped expecting every love to leave someday. This morning sunlight touched my shoulders, like it knew where I had been. Not trying to fix all my sorrow, just asking me to breathe again. I watched an old man feed the pigeons, children laughing in the park, and something fragile opened slowly inside the quiet of my heart. No grand miracle of thunder, no dramatic change of fate, just life sitting beside me softly, asking if I wanted to stay. Maybe healing looks ordinary, maybe grace is small and slow, like finally letting your spirit feel safe enough to let go. Nothing hurt the same tonight. Even old memories lost their sharpness. Rain tapping lightly on the rooftop, sounding more like comfort than darkness. And the world outside my window feels softer in the midnight blue. Maybe life was never crueler. Maybe I just finally stopped being cruel to myself too. I spent years afraid of mornings, afraid of hope, afraid to feel, turning every open doorway into something unreal. But now the air feels lighter, and my soul don't run as fast. I think my heart is learning, not every beautiful thing disappears. Nothing hurt the same tonight. Even loneliness sat beside me kindly, like an old friend saying softly,